it may be as a result of you not being prepared. There is some certain things you need to do, especially if you are above 35. If you are above 35 years old, that is when the hormonal imbalance problem will come from nowhere and tell you, here I am. So if you are above 35 years and you are trying to conceive, there are things you need to do to prepare yourself, to prepare your body. And what are those things? Number one, you must maintain good, healthy weight. I repeat, you must maintain good, healthy weight, because your health, your weight help you to regulate your ovulation. When you are overweight, that is when this PCOS will come from nowhere and tell you, madam, you call me, I am here. So, but when you are in a very good weight, if you're a fat person and you have been trying to conceive, just bear it in mind that your weight could be your problem, because the fat in you will not allow you to ovulate. And as you are getting more fat, that you develop what is called PCOS, polycystic ovarian syndrome. And the PCOS is always in a woman that is not ovulating, because the fake follicles will cover your womb. At the end of the month, nothing will be released. So, and how do you maintain this healthy weight? By minding the type of food you eat. Live a healthy dietary life. Eat things that could help you to maintain your weight instead of eating things that will make you to be fat. When you are too fat, it disturbs you. When you are too fat, even yourself, you can tell yourself the truth. When you are fat, you notice that you cannot do a lot of things, So that is how serious it is. So if you are trying to conceive, you must maintain a healthy weight that will help to regulate your ovulation. The second thing you need to do in order to improve your fertility, remember we are talking about what can help you to improve your fertility so that you can conceive. The next thing you can do is to have intercourse 2 to 3 days of your menstrual cycle. 2 to 3 days of your ovulation, sorry. So why do I say so? Remember yesterday, or when was that I talked about ovulation? I said that it is good if you're a TTC mother, that is, you are not looking for any gender, it is your first time of trying to conceive, all your wish is just to get pregnant, you are not looking for a particular gender, I will advise you to have intercourse 2 to 3 days of your ovulation. How do I mean? For example, if you are going to ovulate next tomorrow, then you make sure that you have intercourse 2 to 3 days before the ovulation. Why? Because it's good to deposit sperm there, so that as soon as you ovulate, the sperm will see something to fertilize. Because in a situation whereby you don't know when you ovulate, then you will be waiting on your ovulation day, which you don't even know the day. You may keep on waiting and the ovulation will come and go. But if you have met intercourse and something is deposited there, then it's very easy, so that anytime the ovulation happens, they will see sperm, the egg will see sperm to fertilize it. So let me repeat myself in this second one, because it's very, very important. Because some people, they don't like having intercourse. They will say, I'm waiting for my ovulation day. It's only on the ovulation day that I can conceive. I don't want to make love. I'm waiting. So sometimes I hear some people say, I don't want my husband to to make love so that the sperm will be full. I laugh because I don't know, people think that in conception, it needs a full cup of sperm to fertilize the egg. A drop like this, just drop, it's what it requires. It's not a full cup. So the important or the advantage of you having intercourse 2 to 3 days before your ovulation is the sperm is already there, right? And the sperm lasts up to 5 days in your body. So once the sperm is there and the ovulation, which is the release of the egg, occurs, then very easy, the sperm will say something to fertilize. But in a situation where you have not done anything and the egg has been released, mind you, the egg stays for 8 hours and it dies. If nothing fertilized, it will disintegrate and you will see your period again. So when you are waiting for your ovulation day and the sperm is released, maybe the sperm could not swim faster to meet the egg before the egg dies off. But in general, in conclusion of this number 2 point is that you should have intercourse 2 days to 3 days of your ovulation, before your ovulation, so that something must be there. Gift Chuku Dalo, gift welcome, how are you doing? I hope you are getting my point. Please, if you do not understand what I'm saying, or if you have question as I'm talking, type your question. When I finish talking, I will address the question. So gift, I don't know if you are just coming now or maybe you have been on the background. We are talking about 5 ways to improve your fertility. The number 1 thing we talked about is maintain a very healthy weight. If you are overweight, it is not good for your system, because your ovulation, sometimes you see, if you are a fat person, you will see that sometimes your menstruation will not be regular. That is because of excess weight. Sometimes fat people, they don't ovulate. Yes, because when you are getting too fat, before you know it, you develop what is called PCOS. So now the number 2 point I mentioned here is that you should have intercourse during the 2 to 3 days of your ovulation period. That is ovulation. Then in your circle, in every circle, in your circle, that is if you have 28 day circle, or in every circle, ovulation must occur between 14 to 16 days after your menstruation. So if we have 4 months, we have 4 weeks in a month, right? So simple calculation, 2 weeks you have your ovulation, menstruation. Then your ovulation comes 2 weeks after your ovulation. So in your cycle, you are likely going to ovulate between 14th to 16th day. When you have the longest cycle, which is 35 days cycle, you are likely 31 day cycle, 35 day cycle, you are likely going to ovulate on the cycle the 19th to 18th or 21. So here it is good, very, very good and important, except if you are looking for a particular gender. If you are looking for a gender, that is only when you will say, oh, I'm going to wait for my ovulation day. And you must be sure that you know when you are likely going to ovulate. But if you are not looking for a gender or you want to conceive, please make sure you have intercourse 2 to 3 days before your ovulation. Do you know why? It is very, very important for sperm to be there, so that when the egg is released, the sperm will see something. Just like a fisherman who goes to the fish to catch fish, then you will be there with your net waiting. I have to stay here until I see this fish before I can throw in my net. So you might wait there forever and you will not see any fish. But if you just cast your net inside the water, then you will come out with a lot of fish. This is what happens here. You need to have intercourse 2 to 3 days of your ovulation. Then this one, when you do something like this, it's just like you have you have covered yourself, right? You make love 2 to 3 days. Now sperm is there already. Good. If the egg is released, immediately it will fertilize it. So after fertilizing it now, that is not a guarantee that you will be pregnant, because it is a journey. When the sperm fertilizes the egg from there will travel. The egg, when the sperm, because it's already there, because the sperm is already there, and after this one, I'll talk about another one. So because the sperm is already there now, and you immediately you ovulate, that is, you release the egg. The sperm will fertilize it. After the fertilization now, then the egg will start to travel to your fallopian tube. That is another process. It will start to travel to your fallopian tube. It will take it to up to 7 days, 7 to 12 days to travel to fallopian tube, where it is going to implant. During this process, something can hinder it. When you are stressful, it can hinder it. So it will travel to, depending, the fastest way time is maybe 7 days, but when it takes long, it's 12 days. So, and that 12 days, that is what is called implantation stage. I have talked about it before. So in this implantation stage is the stage that will now determine whether you'll be pregnant or not. And this is when the hormone called progesterone must do its work. Progesterone will not thicken the lining of your uterus, telling it you need to prepare yourself very well because an embryo is coming here. Because as soon as the egg is fertilized, it is no more egg, it is now an embryo. In fact, it has become a human being. So the progesterone will now be thickening the lining of your uterus where the embryo will implant. So here now, if you have a progesterone, I want to take my time to make this. I believe anybody is understanding. If you don't understand, you ask me a question. So if your progesterone level is low, which means the implantation will not take place because there's nothing to prepare a place for the embryo to implant. If it is high, the same problem. But if your progesterone level is normal, then the progesterone will now go and thicken the lining of the uterus, prepare it. When the embryo comes, one day I will make a video. I will show you the video of how this thing takes place. Then the embryo will now implant. If it implants successfully, then congratulations, you are pregnant. In this period, if you are watchful to your body or to yourself, when this implantation is taking place, it must show you sign. But because of busy or not paying attention, you might not understand it. Because when I experienced it during the period I was giving birth, I experienced it. When the implantation is happening, you know why the implantation confuses people. Some people see it as maybe their period is coming. Some see it as maybe period cramping, or I don't know. But when it's happening, it must show you something. If you can agree with me, from this month, pay attention to your body. You will see it. So the one is happening, like during my own time, when it's happening, I will be feeling pains under my lower abdomen. That day I was walking on the way, I was feeling a little bit pain. Your body will be doing you, I don't know how to explain it. And behold, when you get home, you may see light spotting in your pants, light pink is not red. You will see pinkish this thing in your underwear that doesn't last. Highest 2 hours, some it may last a year, some a day, some it may last for 2 days, but as long as it is not heavy. So now when you see this thing, congratulations, you are pregnant. You are pregnant, which means the embryo have implanted successfully. So what even brought me to this side, the number 2 thing. So another point, another way you can increase your fertility is avoid having sexual transmitted diseases. When you have STD like gonorrhea, staphylococcus, or whatever they call it, you are very, very big risk of conceiving, because this infection damage a lot of things in a woman or a man. So when you have all these sexual transmitted diseases, it's advisable that you treat it before you start to conceive, because if you are still living with them, it will be very difficult for you to conceive. So avoid them. Avoid them. They damage a lot in woman's body. So the next thing, or the next way you can improve your fertility is you choose the beverages. Choose the type of drink you want to consume. Excuse me. Choose the type of, okay, somebody asked me a question before. Wow, my beautiful sister, very, very thank you, Glory. Shinugu, welcome. Gift say, can someone get pregnant with high prolactin and progesterone? Gift, no. Do you have it? Gift, do you have high progesterone? Prolactin, you need to treat it. Maybe go to your doctor. They may prescribe. I'm not prescribing for you. You have to go to your doctor. Metafin, it can regulate your prolactin. You know, see, prolactin is the hormone that is in charge of breast. When a young woman or a young girl is not pregnant or breastfeeding, you notice that breast milk will be coming out from their breast. That is what is called prolactin, and the prolactin can be fixed. Doctor can place you on metafin that you can use to regulate it, and the progesterone is what I just talked about. If it is high, it is not good. It must be at a normal position for the implantation, because every hormones in your body, we have 4 hormones. I've been saying it in all my video. 4 hormones that is responsible for this conception. We have what is called thyroid, and this thyroid regulates your metabolism. Right? Thyroid regulates FH, which triggers ovulation. Thyroid tells your brain when to release the egg. The brain is empty. This brain you see is empty. It's this hormone thyroid that controls it. So when you have what is called hypothyroidism or hyperthyroidism, it is not good. What is hypothyroidism? Hypothyroidism is a situation whereby your thyroid gland is low. And when it's low, it slows down your system. When it slows down your system, you are not ovulating. Gift you have, wow. Gift, you know what you will do? You go to your doctor, tell him about this. Tell him about your progesterone. Is it high or low? Is it high or low? If it is high, your doctor can give you something that will reduce it. This prolactin, these are the problem that is making you not to conceive, but don't worry, they can be fixed. They will place you on a medication. If you are faithful to it and take it up to 3 to 6 months, everything will be normal again. Maybe that is why your period is not regular. This is the sign of the signs. Gift, your menstruation is not regular, right? That is the sign. So we have this prolactin Gift talked about now, which I have explained. We have estrogen and prolactin, progesterone. They almost do the same work. They thicken the lining of the uterus. So if you have any other question, ask me. Then I was talking about number 4 point, which I said you should choose your beverages consciously. If you are the type of person that is smoking and you want to conceive, please stop it. If you are drinking alcohol, please stop it. If you take coffee, stop it. That nicotine in coffee is not good for a woman. The same thing with your husband. If your partner is drinking, the alcohol there reduces the level of sperm mortality. So the sperm will not swim very well. So in pregnancy, when you want to produce a baby, both partners need to participate on it. In our African country, when a woman is not conceiving, they blame it on the woman. No. Everybody, I've seen somebody that She have not been conceiving, and she thought the problem is coming from her, not knowing that it was her husband, until I asked her to tell her husband to go for a sperm test. Then when she went, and when the husband conducted test, it means that he has low sperm count, and he was able to fix it, and today they are pregnant. So if you are preparing to get pregnant, you and your husband must have yourselves to be checked, not only one person. How can you know when you